No, don't worry, you haven't clicked onto the wrong YouTube channel. This is indeed me, TONIK TZW, and yes, this is an aircraft carrier. It is the Tier 3 Komsomolets, or the omelette as I prefer to call it because it's easier to pronounce, and this one is entitled Come fly with me, let's fly and fail. Because this one was just a bit of fun last night so that we could tick off some premium games. And I said, you know what? Instead of taking out a premium destroyer and things like that, I've done all mine. So I'll bring an aircraft carrier because they are quite prevalent down at the lower tiers, and there's a lot of noob badges there. But see that Nassau there on red team? Yeah, somebody's out clubbing to pad their stats, I think, because the Nassau is quite a handy ship, and in hindsight, I should have particularly focused him a little bit earlier in the game. But there was a lot going on, and because I don't play carriers a lot, and by a lot, I think this is my 15th match in aircraft carriers in standard games out of over 16,000 battles. So, yeah, I probably play carriers as often as politicians tell the truth. And I play the daring as much as politicians swear, judging by the news recently, because that whole COVID thing has opened a whole can of worms, and these are the people that we elect to run our country for us. But enough of the politics, and let's get into some planes. Now, I forgot that the Tier 3 carrier doesn't have the same skippy bombs as the Tier 5 and the Tier 7, but we're going to try and do what we can do. And I also remembered that I only get one run on ships, so I've got to constantly keep rotating. And at times in this game, I did get things wrong and take torpedo planes up when I wanted dive bombers, and I took dive bombers when I wanted torpedo planes. But it was all just a bit of fun. Unfortunately, blue team kind of failed a little bit, failed a big little bit, failed a lot. Was it in part down to my carrier captaining? I don't know, because I think that I actually do a half decent job in this, but there you go. We lose our Tier 1 Dresden cruiser, because there were Tier 1, 2 and 3 in this game, and you can see that the Tier 1s are in divisions, so they are fail boating it and further trashing the game by bringing Tier 1s in against Tier 3 battleships. Not a good idea. And although I am saying, hey, look, there's the destroyer spotted, somebody get guns on him, it seemed that nobody wanted to take a pot shot at him, and Dave there, down there in his battleship, is doing his utmost to try and staunch the flow of red up the left-hand side of the map. And I'm looking for the best targets that I can, and going to bomb and torpedo to the best of my ability. And I want to say that I actually quite enjoyed this. I know it's only low tier carriers and it gets much more difficult as you get up the higher tiers. But I was trying to keep an eye on the minimap at what was going on and seeing that strong push on the left, so moving my carrier to the right, and then seeing the destroyer across here and the battleships needing help. So I headed across in this direction to try and keep him spotted. And it was all a bit of a kerfuffle. You'll notice that we're also at a disadvantage because red team have 2 destroyers, we only have 1, and he is sitting in a smokescreen, not doing a lot by the looks of it. But there's a whisk. A whisk? No, there's a Wix. And so I'm trying to keep him spotted and try and keep the other destroyer spotted as well, at least trying to find them. But we've got a battleship sailed all the way through B cap by himself there, the Ishii, and that's not a good position to be in. I see red team's Ishii out there, and I'm thinking, he's broadside, he's static in the water. Can I get onto that cruiser there? No, I can't. He's too tight to the island. So we'll take the big static battleship and we'll do a run on him, because this was very much practice for me. Obviously, I play the game a lot. I love my destroyers. I can handle myself reasonably well in battleships and cruisers on most occasions. It's not often I finish bottom, and I'd say the majority of the time I certainly finish in the top half of the team. And if I'm in the daring, then generally I'm in the top 1 or 2 of the team if things work out right for me. But there's the destroyer. He's firing his guns. That's telling me exactly where he is. So we're going to go and we're going to have a crack at him. Now he's chasing ships across the map. Our destroyer's taking a battering. Nobody wants to go near Charlie Cap. It would really help, if that DD would get in and Dave could support him on the cap, but it isn't going to happen. This little DD knows he's in trouble. Let's see what we can do here. Can we drop? And we get an incapacitation. So we're going to get the planes up and we're going to go again, because he will have damage control. So if we can get a fire on him, that would greatly help. You can see that all the guys that were across here on the right side of the minimap have kind of headed in the opposite direction, running away from that Izakazi. So I'm figuring, I'll see what I can do about him, and hopefully the guys can get some guns on. But in sailing away, they're giving up broadsides to the battleships. The destroyer is finally on Charlie Cap. He doesn't have a lot of health on him, like I said, and he is being harassed by red team's aircraft carrier. Oh, look, there's the DD again. What's going to happen this time? He's not going to change direction, and we're going to drop the bombs, and incapacitation again. I need to be able to react a little bit quicker. I think what I was doing here was I was doing the immediate reaction of, oh, there's the ship, let's drop on him, instead of sort of pinpointing him and then going past him and then turning and coming for another run from a better angle. But I didn't want to give him the opportunity to start twisting and turning. There's a low health cruiser there, and like he's a one shot. He should have been picked up. Red team have only got a lead here by one ship, but they've got a huge points lead of nearly 250 points because of that one cap. And now they've gone into Charlie Cap, so Dave is trying to contest it. But those other 2 battleships behind him are going to be as much use as a chocolate fire guard, because they're not going to push and support him, and that's not good. I'm on 63,000 damage, which I'm thinking, tier 3, that's not too shabby. What can we do here? Because this is one of the points where I put torpedo planes up when I wanted to go for the destroyer with bombs. And so I decided, well, rather than go straight back, I may as well fly and see if we can do some damage like that. 4 torpedo hits, 2 floods, and a high caliber. And I was like, beautiful, that's a job done. Dave has taken care of the wicks, but in doing so, he's gone out of the game himself. So we've got 2 other battleships pushing in there. There's still a very low health cruiser parked behind that island, and I'm trying to keep things spotted here. The destroyer is obviously running to hunt me down, but this time, bada boom, bada bing, I get myself a kill. And I was like, whoop, whoop, I killed a destroyer. Awesome. And now I've got to try and focus on everything else on the map. There's that Dresden. those two battleships, appear to be pretty full health, but that Nassau is still out there, and I'm thinking, take care of the Dresden, stop him doing anything, and one of you, put a shot onto that Ishi. He's nearly dead as well. We can pull this one back. All we need is a capture point, and to get rid of a couple of ships, the Ishi goes down there. Come on, guys, push, pick up this Dresden. But the secondaries of the Nassau are really taking their toll on these two battleships. So I decide that I'm going to try and drop on him. That's what the Wyoming's calling for. So a little bit more of a structured approach to my torpedo run here, and that we are running in. They're trying to take down the Nassau, when really, if they were to take down that cruiser, that eliminates 50% of the fire that is coming in at them, and he is a one shot. Potentially I could have dropped on him, but the Nassau has a lot more hit points, and if I can whittle him down, then surely one of these two battleships can do something about the Dresden, and then we can focus the Nassau down and then focus on the caps. But it seemed that nobody had the slightest understanding of the tactical situation, and the Nassau picks himself up a Kraken, and it isn't going to end there for him. He is the focus of my attention now. It is 2v2. Really, what that battleship needs to do is to get in on this guy, but he wastes a salvo through the front of him. I get a double fire on him. Now, those aren't ticking, so if anything, if that Ishi was to get a fire on him, and this is where paying attention to what happens in the game and game mechanics can come into your favour, because that Ishi could potentially have fired HE at him, or got within secondary range to get a fire on him, and that would have made a difference right here. But the Ishi is sailing broadside to that Nassau. That was the absolutely wrong move, and all I can put it down to is inexperience. And as I run in on this Nassau, he takes out the Ishi. That is a 6-pack for him. My torpedoes are running, and the Ishi does take him down with, I believe it was a fire there. Now, you'll have noticed that I started trying to head towards the capture point, but this thing just does not seem fast, because I thought I need to close on the cap and try and turn a cap, find the enemy carrier, and or flip a cap so that we're stopping the points going up on them. But with 3.5 minutes left in the game, I've resigned to myself that this is likely to be a defeat. And the reason being is that the enemy aircraft carrier is a Rhine, I think it is. It's a German aircraft carrier. And whereas I have a single run on my squadrons, he can obviously do multiple runs. So that's multiple runs with bombs, multiple runs with torpedoes, and I'm already down to half health, and as you can see, he is on full health. And the only other thing I can do, or I could consider, is trying to close the gap and ram him, but that's pretty much an impossibility. So we're going to drop some bombs, we're going to try and do fires. I don't know how that one missed completely, because those crosshairs were slap bang on, and I don't think I could have dropped them any lower. And I said to Dave at this point, I'm on 98k. I am not finishing this game without breaking 100k, because I didn't know at the time what my personal damage record for this was, but I thought I've tried to play a good game. Yes, I've only got 1 kill, but with how many bomb hits we got there? 8 bomb hits and 15 torpedo hits. I don't think I've done a bad job of it. I don't know what I could have done better apart from focus that Nassau a little bit harder at the start, but then I would have not been paying attention to other areas of the map. And one of the problems that I see with carriers in the game is they tend to focus on the side that they spawn on, which is normally the strong flank, and that leaves the weak flank exposed. So if you are going to be playing carriers. Again, it's a tip from me based on my limited experience of playing carriers, is to make sure that you try to cover the whole map and have a look at where the threats are, at where the game is being developed the strongest, and see if you can use what is quite literally the queen of the chessboard with an aircraft carrier, because you can move anywhere with these aircraft and you can influence the battle much the same way as the queen on a chessboard can move in any direction and any number of squares. Now that is one of the places that I screwed up in this game, because I did think I had torpedo bombers and I started a run, and I then realized that I had dive bombers, but we're closing down into the last few seconds. I've come in too close here. We do the drop. I don't know, am I going to get another torpedo hit there? No, missed completely. Down into the last 10 seconds. Is he close enough for a bomb drop with the engine boost? Let's run in. Here we go. It's a shame he didn't have a little bit less health there, because I think if it had torpedoes loaded on that first one, then potentially I might have been able to win it. But it didn't happen. But just under 115,000 damage, 19 torpedo hits, a lot of bomb hits. I do finish top of the board, which surprised me a lot. But it was a tier 3 game. I wasn't expecting miracles. And sorry to Gung Ho Charlie for kind of trashing your ship as you picked up your 6-pack. But if you're going to spend all your time down in low tiers padding your stats, then sometimes a bomb dropping on your head is what you need. Unless, of course, you're in one of those places in the world where it happens unexpectedly because of various factions wanting to fight each other. But there we go. That's me in a carrier. I know it seems surprising. Smash the like button, leave me a comment, and until next time, really do, please take care of yourselves, and goodbye.